Waterstyle.
Damn, that shit, right?
Crank that shit. Crank that shit.
Waterstyle.
Crank that shit. Crank that shit. It's 2.0, you better crank this shit. A water child, gon' crank that shit. It's 2.0, you better crank this shit. A water child, gon' crank that shit.
Waterstyle.
Crank that shit. Crank that shit. Crank that shit. Reverse scale, devastating, be a 2.0 for water style. I was born in the clear, so I'm a water child. I'm finna crank this shit, ain't getting watered down. Same voice say water style, here cut you down. This my city, nigga, it ain't your town. It's only about 10 ounces, they ain't even a pound. They used to me not making the sound, but I'm finna crank this. In elementary, they was mad cause they wasn't slick. In other words, they was mad cause they ain't this. 2.0, you better crank that shit. Crank that shit. It's 2.0, you better crank this shit. A water child, gon' crank that shit. It's 2.0, you better crank this shit. A water child, gon' crank that shit. Crank that shit. Crank that shit. Crank that shit. Bitch, I'm finna crank it till it's full potential. This J give a L, you see, I just signed. I mainly shine cause I focus on mine and out grind. If I wanted directions, I had to read the signs. So I stayed in the box cause the road is an outline. Body in but my mind out. You got tears for fears, you wanna scream and shout. Penalties get offset, do anything for clout. I keep nobody in your circle that creates doubt. Crank that shit. 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 It's 2.0, you better crank this shit. A water child, gon' crank that shit. It's 2.0, you better crank this shit. A water child, gon' crank that shit. It's 2.0, you better crank this shit. A water child, gon' crank that shit. It's 2.0, you better crank this shit. A water child, gon' crank that shit.
Waterstyle.
Crank that shit. Crank that shit. It's the crank. Crank that shit. You better crank that shit. Crank that shit. Crank that shit.
Waterstyle.
Crank that shit.
Waterstyle.
Crank that shit. It's 2.0, you better crank this shit. A water child, gon' crank that shit. It's 2.0, you better crank this shit. A water child, gon' crank that shit. Crank that shit. Crank that shit. It's the crank, you better crank that shit. You better crank that. You better crank that shit. It's over.
Waterstyle. 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 Waterstyle.
Damn, that shit, right?